Well, Liberal Bob Rae championed the idea of coalition government when it was on the table, and Bob Rae joins me now. Mr. Rae, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Don.
Are you so happy now that the coalition's gone away? You seem in very good spirits, but you were one of the great proponents of the coalition back in December and early January.
Well, so was Mr. Ignatieff. I mean, he and I stood together with Mr. LeBlanc after our caucus meeting and said at that point in time, back in December, that we didn't feel there was much choice. I mean, if you look at what the economic statement in November said and did, clearly there had to be an alternative presented to that. We couldn't just let it go by. And a lot of things have happened. And I think the big thing that's happened is that this has been a hugely dramatic conversion by the Conservatives to a massive deficit financing, to social housing, to an infrastructure program across the country. I mean, this is not exactly the same approach that we saw in November and early December. So you say there's two approaches to life. One thing is just to keep on driving with your hand on the horn as if nothing has changed. And another thing is to say, which Michael did, I think quite correctly, going through the whole process, saying, let's see what's there. And I think what we saw was a very dramatic deathbed confession by Mr. Harper. And Mr. Harper's problem is that he's still alive. Well, so he's got to live with that. We're going to have to see how he performs. And I think that's what we've done. We've said, okay, you want to do this. You say you're going to do all these things. I mean, Mr. Flaherty stood up in early December and denounced what the coalition document said about the need to invest in these things, and said it would be a disaster and it would never happen. And
but
he's
Mr.
doing the same thing.
was saying, and Mr. McCallum too, there are many deficits and many things missing from this budget, other than just the deficit of $34 billion.
It's not a perfect document.
And until he got to his amendment, Mr. Ignatieff, you would have sworn he was going to vote against it. He was castigating it left, right, and sideways.
Well, I mean, look, it's a Conservative government. They brought in a budget which is not perfect. It's got some measures that are there that any sensible person would endorse in the current financial circumstances, and that represents a significant conversion for them. And so, you know, the road to Damascus is starting to look a lot like the Don Valley Parkway at 5 o'clock, as I've said before. I mean, it's getting very crowded there. And so, you know, we've, I think, done our job in helping to move opinion and the government to a certain position. And now we're going to hold them to account. I don't think anybody should read any huge sort of transformation on anybody's part.
Okay, well, but let me understand this. I mean, you're having these reports right before the last opposition day in every supply period. So that would give you an opportunity, if you didn't like the report, to move a non-confidence motion. Is that the way you've set it out?
Yes.
And you've done it, though, all the way through to December. So the implication is you think the first two reports, at least, are going to be okay.
No, what we said is we're following you, I think Mr. Ignatieff's phrase is, we're following you like hawks every step of the way. And, you know, I think actually this is what Canadians want. I think what they want is for Parliament to work, to get on with it. You know, guys, stop fighting, get on with what you said you were going to do, get on with the program that everybody wants to see. This program has very much, in large measure, stolen, taken from a lot of suggestions made by people from all walks of life across the country about the kinds of investments that are required. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Do we like the Conservative government? No, I didn't vote for it. But the fact is it's there. They have 140 odd members, some of them odder than others, but there you are. I mean, that's the government. And so we are holding them to account. And I don't think anybody should think that this is a very long leash that we're providing for them.
Okay, but in the previous Parliament, under Mr. Dion, when the Liberals allowed confidence motions to go through in the House, basically you did it because you weren't ready for an election. One could suggest that while the circumstances have changed and the leader has changed, and you might find more in this budget that you like, you still find plenty you don't like, and you're letting it pass because you're not ready for an election.
I actually don't think that's true. I think we are ready for an election. I mean, the money situation has been dramatically changed. The morale in the caucus is terrific, and I know I've been in politics for 30 years. I've seen good morale, bad morale. I know what it's like. We have good morale. We have good direction and a good sense of confidence. So No, I don't. I really don't think. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. That what you see is what's there. This is a government that is, as we said today, has been put on probation. It's a very different kind of parliament. It's a very different kind of accountability, and frankly, we'll see what happens. And I wouldn't read into it any more than that. And ultimately, one day there will be an election.
Bob Rae, thanks for coming in now. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.